Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Charity.
This man,
How are you?
I'm fine. Can you introduce yourself, please, because of our viewers?
Okay, I'm right, Honorable Mrs. Maria Omozele Oligbe Edeko, member representing Eastern Northeast Constituency 2,
Yes.
and immediate past Deputy Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly. Thank you.
Okay. Up to this moment, except as you just mentioned, you are the Deputy Speaker, but maybe from tomorrow. So, why did you resign, man? Let's take the last thing first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why did I resign? I'm sure you've seen the political terrain.
Yes.
And I am of the PDP. We were in the majority.
Okay.
And today we are minority in the House.
Yes.
My colleagues, because it's a game of number.
Okay.
And usually in this part of the world, nobody talks about competence. All people think about is, well, these are my privileges. So looking at the fact that the party I belong to is in the minority now, and again, principal positions, they are shared, positions are shared between the senatorial districts.
Okay.
My senatorial district, we have the governor and we have the majority leader.
Okay.
Edo South, they have the deputy governor, and the Edo North, they have the speaker. So you could see a bit of imbalance.
Okay.
So I'm a person that fights for equity, justice, and
Okay.
it was, for me, it was the honorable thing to do.
Okay.
I needed to resign voluntarily for Edo South to be able to have the position of a deputy speaker.
Okay.
And this will engender peace and make governance easier for us in the state. People will be happy. Yes, it was a very, when you are taking a decision for the right reason, it was not cause pains to you. And I'm happy to do it. I'm glad. Yes, I have, since assumption of office, I have tried to, we got autonomy during this tenure, and
I see.
to God be the glory.
Yes.
Yes, I was one of the people that worked on the bill
Okay.
for to get autonomy for the legislative arm,
I see.
and we passed the bill for the judiciary.
Okay.
Those are the bedrock of democracy. So as a true Democrat, what I have done today is the right thing to do. If this country must survive, we must learn to make sacrifices. When we always think of only ourselves, it's not the best for this country. And I am happy. Today, if you were on the floor of the House, you could see my colleagues. They were very proud of the little things I've assisted, my contribution to this institution. That is what life is all about. Because I came into this office as the Deputy Speaker. The office reserved for me, the assignment reserved for me by the rules of the House is to be the chair of the tender board. And in doing that job, I had to set up proper processes in compliance with the state procurement law.
No, okay.
So you see all over my office these files. Last week I sent about 154 files to procurement agency, because due process you can't spend public fund
Yes.
without compliance with the rule of law.
I see.
The death of rule of law is the bane of our country today.
I see.
I'm a law teacher, like you know, and I've been in the social development world.
Right.
So I cannot be an advocate for rule of law and I will not comply when it comes to the way I carry out the functions of my office. So I'm grateful to Almighty God for the opportunity to have served. And if you recall, I have always said I'm the first girl child from my local government to become a commissioner, a two-time commissioner for that matter, and the first girl child to become a parliamentarian. These are spiritual in nature. So God is always faithful. It beholds on those people, the true believers of Christ, to attempt to do things in line with the laws of God. So in compliance with the will of Almighty, I chose to resign today. Because when people say rotational power is not legal, I tell them no. I'm a teacher of jurisprudence, philosophy of law. When we talk about sources of law, it's not only in legislative law, custom practice.
Right.
The practice has always been there's power division and rotational power. So zoning positions to different constituencies, different senatorial, it's a legal thing.
But would you have resigned if you were APC now?
Even if I were APC, I should resign.
I see.
For equity.
Okay.
So that there's senatorial, like Edo South,
So that there can be balance.
There can be inclusion.
Okay.
Yes, my only pain, yes, I happen to have been the only woman right now at this level of governance.
Okay.
And that was why I appealed to government to see how they could, get women to be at this level of it, so that we are talking about equity for the senatorials that make up the states. So I'm also talking about equity for the women.
I see.
So I think by the grace of God, the House of Assembly, we're going to have some measure of peace and do the work our constituents voted us to do for them.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going further, why did you not decamp with your speaker and some other members of the assembly? What was the reason for staying back in PDP?
Thank you. The issue of the campaign, is personal to people, but it's not also just personal, it's a legal matter.
Okay.
Because I'm a teacher of law, and the Constitution is very clear that when you are elected on a platform, except that you cannot defect. If you defect, you lose your seat.
Okay.
But there is an exception. Okay. The exception says that if there is a merger of parties or division, the division in this instance is not whether people are quarreling and all that. It's like what we have in company law, mergers and acquisition.
Right. Okay.
If a company is not doing well and there is another company, the company can acquire that other company. It means you lose your identity. You now take on the name of the new company that may have acquired that company. That is what we are talking about. So today, that kind of merger or division has not occurred in PDP.
Okay.
And it will be unconstitutional for me to take such decision. A country can only survive when you follow the rule of law. So we are hoping that the party, I pray are able to, you know, make the party strong again, so that we don't need to start moving to different parties. And for me, after election, you don't talk about party.
Yes,
you talk about governance.
Okay.
So, like I've said, I have been providing, doing what I should do to enhance the government of Senator Monday Okpebolo, and I will always do that, because that is the only reason why we have been elected. So, election, you don't talk about Gentiles or Jews, but you talk about good governance. So the experiences I've acquired over the years, I'm available to serve my state in any form. I will always contribute to support Mr. Speaker and the legislative and the executive and even the judiciary when I'm called upon and when it's necessary.
I wouldn't like to drag you more about this defection thing, because it is easy for people to say, looks like this lady is, saying something that is harmful or so. But just compare legislature, executive. You have been in both this way, so compare and contrast.
In what aspect?
In terms of functions and probably benefits to your constituency.
Oh, well, you see, the executive arm of government.
Yes, because they are the highest level in the state.
So now let me start with the legislative arm.
Okay.
Because each of these arms, they complement each other.
Okay.
The executive, the legislative arm, our main function here is to make laws for the good governance of the state. And we carry out oversight function, and also we are engaged in other legislative functions. So when you look at the executive arm, you are to execute what the legislators know, the laws.
Okay.
And like for budget making, we pass the budget for the state executive and even the judiciary to function. So that was why I said they complement each other.
Okay.
The executive arm of government, every arm of government is important. It is just unfortunate the way the country has been running. That's where we are having the problem. The executive arm, they execute. So we have the various sectors. We have the government agencies, ministries. We have health.
So, but which is more impactful to the citizens?
Every one of these arms of government, if we do carry out the functions that we are created to do, every arm of government is as impactful as the other one. If, for example, you don't make budget, the executive cannot function. Even when you make budget, it is your responsibility as a legislator to ensure you carry out oversight
functions,
to ensure that the money is used judiciously. If roads are built, it is your duty to go and check through monitoring and evaluation, that these roads have been, the money earmarked for a particular purpose that has been utilized, and those projects have been done. Even in social development, the care for women, children, elderly, and recently, the law that I was part of the team